Hello and happy Halloween. As this comes out, it's just becoming midnight in Central Europe. We've got an hour to go in the UK, so maybe that's my deadline for solving this puzzle. We've got, in the States, it's still ahead of you. Seven hours to go or so, or 7 to 10, somewhere in that region. But you may not be watching this as it comes out. You may be watching it as the veil is at its thinnest on Halloween night. And this one, Chip Sounder has invited us to come bobbing for apples. And it's called Anti-Night Singularis Alchemis. And that's telling me that I'm going to need my Nighty McKnight face, I think. We'll have a look at this in a moment. Don't forget that if this is the 31st of October, and it is, then tomorrow is the 1st of November, and that means it's the first of the month and there's a new Patreon reward. We invite you to put out more flags on Patreon tomorrow. There is going to be at 4 p.m. a new Sudoku hunt involving 7 9x9 Sudokus, all inspired by some unusual flags, and we hope you'll join us. We hope you'll join us and give it a go and try and win the competition and become the person who gets to solve a video with Simon next, solve a puzzle with Simon next on a video, and yeah, wish you good luck with that. That's on Patreon, where there's also, of course, all our crossword videos and connections and many other things to do with puzzles and the channel. We urge you to join us, especially for the first of the month when there's a new hunt. So that's tomorrow. Of course, there's also today has seen Simon posting a masterclass. Thanks so much to John Robbins for mentioning us on Radio 5 Live last week, and Adam Vallender for telling us about it. And yeah, Simon's had a go at another Times crossword today, and there's, so much going on. We're in the Wall Street Journal now. We've got all of our apps, and they feature such things as Arrow Sudoku, Thermo Sudoku, Line Sudoku, Killer Sudoku, and Domino Sudoku, all relevant today. So do check those out. Goodness me, and the worms are on the apps as well, so do check those. They're by Phistomefel, Michael Lefkowitz, Marty, Sears, and James Sinclair. And on the 2nd, that's 2 days' time, good Lord, we're going to be on Sunday, we're going to be in Stratford. We hope to meet some of you there. I don't know, I thought I heard there was still a ticket or two available. Do check, just in case. Now, that's the Stratford-on-Avon literary festival. A few people booked last year thinking it might be Stratford in East London. It isn't. Now let's have a look at Chip Sounder's puzzle, which is called, as I say, Anti-Night Singularis Alchemis. And the first thing I've got to check, yes, my mic is working, that's good. Okay, next thing I've got to check is that here in my little red bag I have a night character, because if it's called Anti-Night Singularis Alchemis, I think I know what the first rule I'm going to see. Well, let's go. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Cells separated by a knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digit. And Nighty McKnight face will sit here in front of me and remind me when I forget. Digits on a thermometer must not decrease from the bulb end. So this is a slow thermo, in fact. You can stay the same as you move along it from the bulb end, but you cannot decrease. You can increase, but you cannot decrease. And you must obey Sudoku rules. Connected digits on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. Digits in a cage sum to the total shown. Digits on a purple line must form a set of consecutive digits in any order. The Renban rule, the German whisper rule, the killer rule. X and V as well. Digits separated by an X sum to 10. Digits separated by a V sum to 5. There's no mention of any negative constraints. Give it a try. There's no hint in the title that we're bobbing for apples, but the shape does look a bit like it. So, Anti-Night Singularis Alchemis by Chip Sounder. let's get cracking. It's the first link under the video for you. Okay, what we know about green lines is that they can't contain 5s because there's no possible Sudoku digit, that they alternate between high and low, which we could colour, say, pink and green, and that 4 and 6 can't be placed in any of those cells because their two neighbours would have to be the same. It's not that elucidatory today. Oh, what we should do is mark up the thermo. Okay, so what's the absolute minimum as we go round? 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. I'm only changing when I'm in the same box. 5, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7. So there's 2 degrees of freedom everywhere, I'm afraid. Right, I'm going to mark it up because you can never accuse me of under good lifting thermos. Okay, I can already see something that's going to help a little in the cage. So we can reduce one of those. This can't be a 5 because you couldn't put another digit in the cage. So if that can't be a 5, the one before it can't be a 5, the one before that can't be a 5, we can run it down to the bulb of the thermo, taking out possible alternatives. Now on this V, that one is a 3 or a 4. And this one is a 1 or a 2. So we have 2 5 pairs. It does make you wonder why Chip introduced a new rule and used a cage rather than using a V up here. But there we go. That's his call. Now, these digits can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4 because they're all caught in these webbed cells. So they are from 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. This one can't be a 5 on the X, or there'd be a 5 next to it. One of these has to definitely be a 7 now. I suppose that means 7 can't be on this bit of the German whisper line, but that's not desperately helpful. Okay, this circle is... We don't actually get all that many more clues, by the way. This circle is looking at 2 lower digits. Now, if that was a 4, I don't think this cage would work, because you'd put 1 and 3 on the arrow. They would have to be 2 and 4, and that adds to the wrong total. If this was a 6... 5, 1 there, 2, 3 there. Okay, that works okay. Or 2, 4 here. That wouldn't work. So if this is a 6, this is a 5, 1 pair. But, and therefore there is a 5 in one of these cells, because if it's a 6, it can't be a 4, 2 pair, or that would be left to be 1, 3. It would have to be a 5, 1 pair. And otherwise this is a 5. So one of these is a 5, and now this cell isn't. And that we can run up to the other end of the thermo by taking out the smallest digit in each cell. And we're down to 2 candidates for every cell of the thermo. If that was a 6, this would automatically become a 7 and maximise the rest of the thermo. If this was 5, 1, 4... These greens would have to be low digits because you couldn't have 3 more in the column. So if that was 5, 1, 4, or indeed 5, 2, 3, it would be using 2 low digits. So these would be the other low digits. Actually, neither of them can be a 4. So this would then have to be 5, 1, 4. So we've just worked out, because these can't be a 4, and if that's a 5, these can't be low, that if this is a 5, there is a 1 on the arrow. And if it's a 6, we worked out already there was a 1 on the arrow. So there's definitely a 1 on the arrow. And that means this cell is definitely 2. And we get our first 4 digits in the puzzle. And now we can minimize the beginning of the thermo because of that 3 we got at the top. And we've got loads of digits in the puzzle. Now we probably know how this is made up. No, we don't. It's still either 1 plus 4 or 1 plus 5 to equal 5 or 6. However, I was going to say 1 has been taken out of these possible, all of these cells. Is that useful? Probably is, and I can't quite work out why. Sorry, I think I'm being a bit dense here. If that was 5, 4, 1, these are selected from, that would be a 2, 3 pair. In fact, that would be a 3 surrounded by 8 and 9. That would be 2, 7, 6. It would all be prescribed if this went 5, 4, 1. If that went 6, 5, 1, I think it's less obvious what goes on here, because these purple squares could be either the remaining 3 high digits or the remaining 3 low digits. If they were high, with one being up here, one of them would have to be a 4, and that would be here. Because it can't be here by Sudoku, and it couldn't be here because of the rule that 4 is monogamous and can't have 9s on both sides. So that would be the 4, and that would be 9 if this went 6, 5, 1. 4, 9. These would be a 7, 8 pair. And these would be left to be a 2, 3 pair. And that works all right. Ah, it's this X. I didn't expect that. This can't be 7, 8 or 9 because this can't be 1, 2 or 3. So that's a 4. This is 6. Now, not only can we take 6 out of those two cells, we can take 9 out because it can't be achieved on the Renban. So 7 must be used there. The remaining digits in the column are from 5, 8 and 9, but this one can't be 5 because 5 definitely appears on the arrow or in the circle. So that's 8 or 9. This is 5, 8 or 9. Now, 6. The only places in this column where 6 can go now are there in the circle, where I suspect it will go, or here, off the line completely. It can't be here because that can't be a 1. And it can't be here because we've had a 6 in the box. There doesn't seem to be much else going on in the puzzle, so it's all got to hinge around the stuff we haven't done yet, which is intriguing. In this box, 1 of 8 or 9 must be in one of these cells because we've had 1 there, but we've still got another one to come. That's going to be an 8, 9 pair in this virtual pair in this column. Amongst these yellow cells, there must be 2 8s or 9s. Therefore, they can't appear here. Therefore, if that's 5, 7, both 8 and 9 appear on this group. And even if it's not 5, 7, 9 definitely appears in this group. Now, if that is 5, 7, and this is 8, 9, this is low, 1 or 3. This is 2 or 3. I don't know, that doesn't quite resolve. Oh, there he is, Nighty McNightface saying, who did you forget all about, Mark? I forgot all about you, Nighty. Sorry. Right, let's use you however best we can. I mean, it's incredible how easy it is to forget. That's why my friend Emily got me the piece. Now, how are we going to use it? And it does explain how the rest of the grid is going to fill when there are so few clues. I mean, not precisely, but in general, how it's going to be made to work. Okay, I don't know is the answer. So let's try and figure this out slowly. We've got a 1 in one of those cells. I mean, maybe I haven't remembered the night at too bad a time because this can't be 6. We knew that anyway. I mean, there might be something going on. If either of these was 7, that would have to be 7. Then we can put 7 here, then that's a 7. Is that doing anything impossible? No. I can't work it out. I mean, that's quite interesting. Obviously, this triple pattern on the diagonal is possible because it's happened in both the cases of 1s and 3s. Maybe it's even necessary then. I doubt that that's true, but oh goodness, I don't know what I'm meant to be doing at the moment. 1 in one of those, 3 in one of those, 4 in the central box. These 4s prevent it going in any of those cells. I haven't ruled that out as a 4. But if 4's on this arrow, then it has to be in one of these 2. Okay, I don't quite understand. Gonna have to find something. Okay. I mean, it's annoying because when I first remembered the night, I thought, oh, well, that'll be it. Now we'll get going. I haven't done that. 2. That digit can't be in any of these cells using the knight's move. So it's either sitting there or it definitely makes the purple high. Was one of these definitely 6? No, I don't think so. It's strange to have this with the slow thermo because normally when you're looking at knight's move combined with a thermo, you can rule the same digit off the same thermo, but that's not applying here. Oh dear, I'm stumbling around in the dark a bit at the moment. I need to find some digit that has an impact on another box that is significant and not something I already know. It's strange, 4 being in any of those cells. If 4 was in either of those, it couldn't be here. If 4 was in that cell, it couldn't be in any of these and would have to be there. I don't know. Is there something blindingly obvious? There's a chance that's what's going on. Maybe there's an impact if this was an 8-9 pair. That would see both of these cells and prevent them being 8 or 9. No, I don't see that. Oh, Chip, you've stored something up for my Halloween, haven't you? What's going on? Oh, this 2 sees all of those cells, and this one sees those. So 2 in box 1 is confined. That means 2 in row 3 is confined. That prevents 2 being there, which it couldn't have been in anyway. So that didn't really add to the sum of human understanding. The fact that there is a 1 in one of those cells prevents there being a 1 in either of these. That leaves possible positions for 1 in column 7 to be these 3 cells. Now, what does that do? Oh, 1 in this central box is actually quite confined. This is something I should have marked before, because we know there's a 1 on that arrow and we've got this digit. One of those is a 1. Now, how does that impact 1 being in one of those cells in column 7, which I just worked out? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't at all. Oh, there's something to be seen. I can't work this out. One can't be, I mean, I've said this before, 1 can't be anywhere on this. this digit couldn't be a 3, I've just noticed. On the green line, these two would have to be an 8-9 pair, and then they both see that cell. So whatever that was can't be replicated in one of these. So this digit, if it's low, it's definitely a 2. And that means this one is definitely a 3. Then we get an 8-9 pair here. If green is low, which I think is by far the most likely, we must have 2 here, 3 here, 8-9 here, and 7 down in one, 7 actually here next to the 2. So we know the position of everything but those two, and we know what they are as a pair if green is low. Well, that's quite interesting. I mean, it didn't rely on the Knight's move at all, but, or maybe it did, because that couldn't be 3. Yes, okay. Well, no, that could never be 3, because then that couldn't be low. Oh, well, that's what I need. That's it. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's really weird. If this was low, oh no, I said it couldn't be 3, and that was true, but it was much simpler than the way I proved it with the 8-9 and the Knight's move, because that digit couldn't be low anymore. Now, if these are low, it's what I've said is 3 here, and that's right, and 2 here. This would be an 8-9 pair. That would be 5-7. This would be a 1-2-4 triple with that digit being a 2. And that would place a 2 here, and 2 here, and 2 here. Oh, let's have a look at this. 2 there, where it would have to be for this scenario. 2 there, 2 there. And actually that works. Okay, let's try it the other way around with some reluctance. I'm going to try and rule out that these purples are low. Now, 1 is up there. For these to be low, 4 can't be used there. 4 has to be used here. And these then go 4, 9. This is a 2-3 pair. I don't necessarily know the order. Oh, this digit would become an 8. Oh, well, this is quite interesting. So if 4 was there, that's a 9. The 2-3 pair used here would make that an 8. I think this would be a 7 in the end as well. Never mind about that. The interesting thing is, this being an 8 stops those being 8s. Is that the interesting thing? It makes them both 9s. Maybe that's not as interesting as I hoped. 9 would also be here at that point. So 9 would have turned up in all of these cells. It would have, look at that. Right. Here's why this can't be 8. Or, yeah, why these can't be low. It's quite complicated, but it's very neat. There'd be a 1 up there. These would have to be 2, 3, 4 in the purple here. The only one that can be 4 is that one. That would need this to be 9. The 3 in one of those would make this 8. Now, follow along with me, because this is important. That 8 sees both of these cells and makes them both 9. We'd have a 9 here. And now where does 9 go in column 4? The only place is there, but that is a Knight's move problem away from the central cell. So that is not what's going to happen. And therefore, these two are not high. These are high. These are low. And this one sees 4 and 2, 4 on the Knight's move, 2 by horizontal and 1 by vertical. So that's a 3. 3 is surrounded by 8 and 9. And I mean, I've done this before in hypothetical language. Now we don't have an 8 there anymore. That's definitely a 5-7 pair. That is a naked 2. This pair is a 1-4 pair. As we go down this line, we need a low digit here, which can't be 1, 4, or 3, and is 2. That's going to require 7 as the only remaining high digit. This is not going to be 1 or 5, which is up there, and it's not allowed to be 4, so it's 6. Now that gets us a 5 in the bowl, not the bulb, but the circle, with a 1-4 pair above it. This has been stopped from being a 5. We've now got an 8-9 pair. So the other cells are 3 and 5, and the knight's move decides which way round they go. And now we don't have all of the clues done because we don't have the slow thermo done, but we have most of the clues done, and we have a knight's move puzzle on our hands. Right, 3 in this row can't be there by knight's move or there. Why not call that knight's move just because it's ordinary Sudoku 2? That's going to leave 5 and 7 behind in the row. Up here, 2, 1, 4, 5, 3. These are all big digits from 6, 7, 8, 9. And those 3 all see that cell, including on the knight's move. So the one of these 4 that can be there must be that. So these 2 are the same. Let's get rid of all of the rest of the colouring, which did its job. But these 2 are the same. That's worth bearing in mind. I mean, I don't yet know if they're going to be the same as this. 5 on the knight's move fixes 7 there. That makes this 8, and that pushes up all the end of the thermo to the max. 9, 9, 9. Then we get 8 here, 9 here, no 9 here or here. That's a 6, 7, 8 triple. Three, 2, 1, 4. Okay, where do we go next? Using the knight's move, 8 sees both of those cells. So in row 7, there's an 8 in one of those 2. Then there's an 8 in one of those 2 in row 8. These 9s have begun to limit 9s further up the grid and over here, but not done very much. That can't be a 3 anymore, I've just noticed. Oh, 3s, that might be quite a good thing. This can't be a 3 on the knight's move. So one of those 2's a 3. That's not a 3 in the corner. We're not going to get a 3 in the corner in this puzzle. 3, 9, 5. Those are the same as each other. I bet they're the same as that, but I'm not sure I can prove that yet. What can I do? 9 in the central row. Remember this 8, 9 pair? They're looking at both of those, so they can't be 8 or 9. So 9 in the central row must be there. Now that takes 9 out of the corner. And 9 is now in one of these 2 in box 1. It could be a bit more helpful than that if it would like to be. Nine, 2, 7, 3, 8. I'm looking at the middle row again, just in case. This digit is 5 or 6. There's just nothing else by Sudoku that's possible. Oh goodness, I don't know where to go for more information at the moment. Let's just keep trying to see if we can spot something. 2 in this row. Because of that 2, this becomes a 2. I think I looked at these hypothetically earlier, and now they matter. 2 in this column can't be there by a knight's move, so it's down here. That's going to give me a 2 definitely here. That one is ruled out by a knight's move as well. That's going to fix 3 and then 8 in the box. Thank you, pencil marks. This can't be 3, so that's going to fix 3 and 8 in this box too. This pair has become a 6, 7 pair. Got 1, 4 and 5 to place down here. This digit sees 5 and 1, so it's a 4. Got a 1, 5 pair there. These ones are 7, 4, 9. That one sees 4 and 7. So the Nighty McKnight face is being very helpful. This is a 5, 6 pair, but there's a knight's move to sort them out. Now that 5 sees this cell. That's going to tell me that there's a 5 in one of these 2, and that therefore this digit is a 7. And that's useful. I can finish that whole row, in fact. 8 and 7 in these cells. This has become a 9. That 8-7 pair that I just filled in makes this a 6. And that sorts out the orange cells as well because of the slow thermo. And the apple is complete. We've got 1, 4, 5 to fit in here. That one is not 5. Are these resolved by Knight's move? No. That 1, 4 pair is looking at both of those cells. So neither of them can be 1 and 4. And consequently in this column, 1 and 4 are confined to here. Now this looks like a hideous, deadly pattern, but don't forget Mr. McKnightface, who's going to resolve it for us. This is a 5. That's 1, that's 5. That 7 is looking at that cell. We've got a 1, 3 pair up there that can go in. These are 4, 7, 9. It wouldn't surprise me if we can't do those yet. These are 5 and 8. 5 on the Knight's move sorts them. These obviously can't be 6 anymore. That 1 is looking at our deadly pattern, which is nice because we get it resolved before the finish. It's also looking at that cell, so the arrow is done. Now, this is not allowed to be 4 by Knight's move. It also sees 3, 9, 5, 6, 2, 8, 1, so that's a 7. And I don't think we're going to have much more trouble. We need a 7 in this row. Hang on, let's do these first. We can put 9 there because 4's in the corner. Then 8, 9, 6 across the top. 1 and 4 here. 2, 5, 7 here. And the 2 must go there. The 5 must go there. The 7 here. That gives me 8 and 7. And this has been a lovely Halloween treat. So there we go. Anti-Knight Singularis Alchemist. Many people have had a go at that. And it was good fun. So we've bobbed for an apple and we've found one. Thank you to Mr. McKnightface for sorting that out. And thank you to you for watching with us on the channel. An absolute pleasure to have you with us. And we really hope to see you again soon. Bye for now. Happy Halloween.